Hi.
This is Rockin' with Jam Man. This is with Chuck Wright. How you doing, man?
Hey, Jam Man. What's up, man? Good to meet you.
Yeah, it's good to meet you too, man. Good to meet you too. Pleasure.
Just you're just chilling.
Yeah, just chilling, enjoying
All
life,
right.
just seeing what comes my way.
Cool. I saw that you did one of these not too long ago with my friend Carmine Appice.
Yeah, Carmine was such a nice guy, man. He was so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. I've known him for a lot of years and did an album with him and Pat Travers called Bazooka. And I did a little touring with him with Vanilla Fudge. Great guy.
How's life treating you?
Great, man. I'm super excited to finally get my new album out, Sheltering Sky. It's I've been working on it for quite a long time. When the pandemic hit, I had the time to actually sit down and compose music, but I really didn't have the thought in my head I'm going to be doing a solo album. I just was writing music that I like to listen to. So the album as a whole is really eclectic and diverse. It's not one style. I cover a lot of different genres, from funk to prog to jazz fusion to straight rock and roll to ballad kind of things to even a Celtic piece on there.
So congratulations on your new solo album, Sheltering Sky, coming out on May 20th.
Well, thanks.
So congratulations on your new solo album, Sheltering Sky, coming out on May 20th, man. Congratulations on that.
Hey, thanks a lot. Yeah, that's right around the corner. But it has taken quite a while to make it all come together. When the pandemic hit, I found myself, like everybody, at home, stuck at home, and I finally had the opportunity to just sit down and start just writing music. I never really envisioned at that time of doing a solo album. It was just writing music for the sake of the song and the music, just stuff I wanted to listen to or that I would want to hear. And I recorded my first piece, which is called Weight of Silence. And I did an edited together a video of empty streets, just the apocalyptic feel of the world at that time. And I put that out, and then the drummer from Tesla contacted me and asked if he could play on it. And I said, yeah, that'd be great, put drums on it. Then a guitar player friend, Alan Hines, who's a well-known jazz fusion guitar player, played on it. And I re-edited the video, and the whole thing kind of started that way. I'd record and then talk to different guys, say, hey, what do you think? And then they jump on board. And now I have over 40 different musicians and singers on my album. It just kind of all just happened, it wasn't a plan. And that's why the record's so diverse and eclectic in so many different styles.
I can tell there's a lot of different styles on this album. For your first two singles, I can definitely tell.
Yeah, that's the first single was a cover I did of Bjork's Army of Me. That was her hit in 1995. I had recorded it with my late friend Pat Torpey from Mr. Big and Lanny Cordola from House of Lords. We were just in the studio recording stuff, and we just started jamming on it. And it just, nothing ever happened with it. It was just there. And I came across the files, the music files, and listened to it and went, this is great. I need to finish this. And also to honor my friend Pat, who passed a couple of years back. So that's how that song came about.
Did you just do this? Did you just do this in order just to show off your talent, or did you just get tired of playing 80s metal for all those years and just wanted to branch out?
Well, if you were to look at my discography, and you would see that I have branched out throughout my career. I mean, I'm known more as a rock guy because of associations with Quiet Riot and House of Lords. What's that? Odd. But I've done co-produced a couple reggae records, ambient trance. I did a rap rock record with Sendog from Cypress Hill, a lot of different things. And though, like with Quiet Riot QR3, I was a main, like a contributing writer on everything. But that's what I did with House of Lords too, with songwriting And now, because of having the time, I was able to sit down and do it again. I was, before the pandemic hit, I was on the road every weekend pretty much. And then I also run an event in Hollywood called Ultimate Jam Night, which I coordinate between 45 and as much as 100 pro musicians to come and play to a different theme each week. And we just did a benefit for Ukraine.
Out of 11 songs on this album, you either wrote or Cal wrote all the 9 of the originals. Was it like to be fully charged on the entire album?
Was it what? Want to say that again? Was it what?
Oh,
I heard the first part. What was the last part?
what was it like to be? Was it what? What was it like to be fully in charge of the entire album?
Well, it was great to be able to see my vision and what I hear in my head actually become a reality. And I was able to go to certain players that I thought would be perfect for what I was hearing in my head, and they were into doing it. I played bass, of course. I'm known as a bass player, but I also played acoustic guitars, and I did some keyboard work and sound effects work, and I produced the record. But it was just great to be able to go to a certain guy and say, hey, could you do some lap steel guitar like Pink Floyd on this, or whatever it was. And in that regard, yeah, it was wonderful being able to see my vision come through.
And there are 2 covers on there. What made you choose them?
Well, as I said earlier, we already talked about Army of Me, the way that all came about, finding that music. But the other song is a song by the Youngbloods that came out in 1969. And it was a song that I've always loved as a kid growing up, and I've always wanted to cover it. And I wanted to do it as a true Celtic type of piece. So I have fiddle and bahrain, and I have 3 different drummers doing tom-toms through it, like a marching drum type of approach on it. So it's very cinematic, like something you would see it, as an underscore in a movie, like Braveheart or something. It has that kind of feel to it. But I've always loved that song, and I had my friend David Victor, who sang with Boston, do the vocal on that.
Now, do you have a band that you would be able to tour with to play all this stuff with live?
I do not. I mean, there are, as I said, there's like over 40 musicians on it, and it would be a big task, I would say, to try to pull this off live. There are certain songs I certainly could do, but that the album as a whole would be pretty difficult. I would need Roger Waters' budget to do this right.
Now, I know you have been with Quiet Riot off of since 82, well, 1982. But you have made music with Alice Cooper, Slash, Greg Hellman, Carmen Appice, Ronnie Michon Rose, just to name a few. You've worked with many artists.
Yeah, Ronnie Montrose, yes. That was Sammy Hagar's first band, was Montrose. Yeah. I've been with Quiet Riot off and on for 26 years, but I have played for different people, and I also had my own band called House of Lords on RCH, Gene Simmons' label. He had his own custom label, Gene Simmons from Kiss, and a band called Jafria, and some other ones along the way.
Do you consider yourself a hired gun?
I have been, sure. I mean, I've been a hired gun for a lot of different things, but at the same time, I'm doing my own thing now, and I've had bands, that I was a main writer in and toured the world with. But yeah, I'm for hire.
So it has to be a big change having something you can call your own with this solo project. A big change, finally calling something this is your own stuff.
Exactly. For me, it's like I would like to have this album be my legacy as opposed to something I recorded 30 years ago or something. This really represents what I'm about musically, lyrically, and my vision as a musician overall. So yeah, it's about time. for this.
Why did it take so long to put out your own project?
Really, like I said earlier, it's about actually having the time to sit down and write. And I composed way more music than what's on the album. This is what I completed, and it was time to get it done, so to speak. So um, just I finally had time to do it right, to really think about it and go for it. And initially, it wasn't intended to be a solo album, but 5 songs came together that were finished, and I created the video for Army of Me and thought, wow, I've got something here. And I started shopping it around record labels, and Cleopatra, who I've worked with before, liked it enough to want to sign it.
Now, I want to talk to you about Quiet Riot. Now, how did the conversation go when they told you Rudy was coming back?
Well, that has happened more than once, so it wasn't really a surprise to me. And at the time that I heard he was going to be coming back, I was doing my solo record. So it is what it is. That's the way things go. Yeah.
Was it something planned or did it come out of nowhere?
It wasn't a plan from my end. You'd have to talk to them to know. I mean, talk to whoever runs their business.
Would you have stayed if Rudy did not want to come back?
Sure. Yeah, I would have still been playing with them.
Were you afraid the band would break up when Frankie passed away?
That's a good question. I really didn't know. I mean, I know he wanted the band to continue on. So, and carry the torch for the music, and people want to hear those songs. So it would still continue, but I don't think I was afraid of it breaking up, so to speak, or everybody going their separate ways.
If Rudy leaves again, are you rejoining the band?
You know what? I have no idea. It depends on what I'm doing at the time.
Do you have any touring plans this summer?
I'm playing with a thing called the Legends of Classic Rock, which the drummer is the founding member of White Lion. It's Greg D'Angelo. And a singer that was with Great White for, I think, 12 years is Terry Luce. A keyboard player that played with Ozzy and Randy Rhoads, Kevin. And we've been working with a few different guitar players. And I've done some shows with them. I did 5 weeks with them, and I plan on doing some shows in Europe with them this summer. And we do songs from the various bands that we're in. Like we'll do Radar Love, for instance, from White Lion, or we'll do a song from Great White.
Yeah.
Once Bitten, Twice Shy, for instance, we do. It's that kind of thing.
What was it like touring after the pandemic?
Well, I actually toured during the pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah. With Quiet Riot, we were going out in spite of the warnings. We played Sturgis for, I don't know, 10,000 people, and nobody was wearing a mask. So I made sure I had a fan pointing at the crowd so that when they yelled, it went the other direction.
Was it fun, or was it kind of scary with everything? Was it kind of fun seeing faces again, or was it kind of scary seeing everybody in masks, and then you got to be careful who you be around with and everything like that?
I think, yeah, what's scary is when people weren't wearing masks. Like I was just saying, that was the part. It's like, I'm going, this is not safe. You need to be, but a lot of people just ignored that. And hence we have a lot, we're hitting 1 million deaths this week.
Were you in Florida or something?
I was in Texas, Florida, places like that. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, you were definitely in a non-mask area. You're a sinner. Yeah. Wear a mask there.
That's right.
I've been to a few shows. Fans seem more into the shows, not being able to rock out for those years, after that pandemic and everything.
Right. Well, I know a lot of my friends are ecstatic about getting out and playing again, and the energy level has been huge. I just brought back my event that's at the Whiskey A Go Go, we just started back a couple months ago, and the energy from the crowd and the performance has been fantastic.
What is life like on the road for you?
Well, the last few years, I've just been doing weekend flyouts, so it involved a lot of not being able to sleep. Like early plane flights, and then driving to the venue to sound check, and then doing the show, then a lobby call to leave to go back to the airport at 4 a.m. to get on 2 flights to go to another gig. So yeah, it's an exhausting process, but fun to do the show. It's a lot of work to go through to play your hour and a half or whatever it's going to be.
But it sounded like it was a lot of work. So you wake up, oh God, I gotta drink my cup. Nope, you can't do that. Nope, we gotta get going. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's you're always on the run.
what is on your rider? What is on your rider?
Oh, on the band's rider, we kept it real simple. There wasn't alcohol, and we would have like beef jerky and some fruit, and just a very, very small rider for Quiet Riot when I was touring with them.
So just very simple, just plain out simple, nothing.
Yeah,
Really.
just simple. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. Just simple. Just get a little beef.
yeah,
jerky stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
Do you have a ritual before you go on stage, like superstitions? Knock on wood.
Superstition. I wouldn't say I do. No, I used to when I played softball. I always had to run across the second baseline for some reason. Like go across right over second base before I go out. But
Okay.
superstition with getting on stage, not really. No.
That's pretty cool. I like that superstition, Yeah. What is your favorite memory from playing a show?
Favorite memory from playing a show? Well, the very first tour I ever did was in 1985, and the band I was in, called Jafria, had a hit song, so we were able to go out on Deep Purple's reunion tour, called Perfect Strangers, and that was my first time going out on a big arena tour. And I'll never forget standing off to the side of the stage, the lights go down, and hearing the crowd just go nuts for the first time. We were in Odessa, Texas. I'll always remember that feeling that just comes over you, and the energy of the band when we got on stage was just amazing. That's something that's always stood out for me.
I get that, man. Like playing a show and then like the crowd starts busting, the crowd goes nuts, the lights turn on. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
the energy in it, right? The energy, right?
what?
The
Yeah,
energy.
the energy. Yeah, you know what? A lot of times, you'll hear this from many performers, that you really do feed off the energy that you're getting back from the crowd. And a lot of times, what guys will do is they'll find 1 or 2 people that are totally so into it, like singing every word, and they basically play to those people because they know they're going to get back that energy the whole time. And sometimes you'll get guys like this, so you want to play to the people that are really into it.
What is your worst memory from playing a show? Do you have any worst?
Worst memory? Well, how about showing up and then there's no show? That's the worst. The promoter took all the money and left, and there's no show. That happened.
Oh man, that has to suck. You're like, let's get play.
I mean, a lot of bands. I'll never forget. We were all there. It was in Wisconsin, and we all showed up, and the PA wasn't set up yet. Nothing was. We go, what's going on? They go, well, the guy hasn't paid anybody. So what he had done, taken the whole box office receipts, all the money that came in, and all the concession stands, and disappeared.
Were you able to sue him at all? Could you guys?
Well, no. When I mean disappeared, he left the country.
Oh,
Nobody.
like he went to Mexico?
Yeah, they never found that guy again. Who knows where he went? Yeah.
Whoa, that is deep. Whoa, this got real deep. What? My God, is this government stuff?
Pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He also had hired local police to be security, and they all got ripped off too.
Oh, no way. So we hired the local police in order to keep you guys there?
Yeah, to keep security, to be security, and he was supposed to pay them too. Yeah.
Wow, that's
So that's a bad experience. The other one, maybe more personal, is I was doing a show opening for Foreigner, and I did a spin and fell down. Just laid on my back, bam, right on. That's kind of embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's probably happened to just about everybody where they on stage and fall and tripped over a cable or whatever.
What do you do on your downtime for fun, man? Do you got any hobbies?
Well, I used to play softball every Sunday for about 20 years with pretty much all musicians, and from bands you'd know like REO Speedwagon or Gilby Clarke from Guns N' Roses, different guys. We all would get together, and then as we got older, guys in our age group started getting hurt, so I kind of phased that out. But mainly now I ride my bike. I live near a thing called Lake Hollywood. I live in Los Angeles, and there's a place a lot of people even live here are unaware of it, but it's just like you've gotten out of the city. It's just all trees, and you can ride your bike around this lake. It's a man-made lake, but it's beautiful. So,
What is next for you, man? What's next?
well, coming up right now, as you know, my record's coming out May 20th. So I'm doing interviews like this, and I'm doing phone calls and written, and just trying to get the word out on the album right now is my main thing. I'm probably going to do another video in the near future. I haven't decided on what song yet would be right, but it'll probably be one of the more mellower songs, because the majority of the album is actually mellow, and the first two songs that I put out are pretty aggressive. So that's next, and then I've got shows coming up. I have a local band called Acoustic Saints. We reinterpret classic rock stuff with violin, mandolin, Zeppelin, that kind of thing. I do shows with them, and then I plan on doing shows with legends of classic rock. And I have sessions that I'm doing, and just keeping busy. But mainly it's just all about that album right there.
All this in order for just
That.
this thing right here.
That's right. It's all about this guy right here. I just want everybody to just, check it out.
Sure, man. Yeah, I would, doing your first solo project, you want everybody. You want that in the rock headlights,
That's right. That's right. I appreciate your support and putting me on your show, man. Thank you.
No, man, it's my pleasure. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being on the show, man. It's been my pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, bro.
How do my followers follow you?
Say that again.
How do my followers follow you?
Well, you can find me at chuckwright.com, and I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Instagram, and all the usual places. But chuckwright.com, you get right to me, and you can actually write me there. There's an email contact, and it has information about touring. It has information about the videos are there. You can actually, there's a link to get the album if you want to get the album. So that's probably the easiest place to go.
Now I have to ask you this. What are your two thoughts of the musicians commuting suicide less than 2 weeks of each other? I'm talking about Naomi Jude and Black Dahlia murder vocalist Trevor Starnett.
How do I feel about the suicide? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, about those two musicians that just committed suicide less than 2 weeks of each other. I'm talking about Naomi Judd.
I know Naomi Judd. I know that she's always struggled with depression, being a manic depressed person, and a deep depression can completely take people over, and they really need support around them, and they need to be looked after and helped along and pushed into a positive direction, because it's easy to fall into darkness if you're just within yourself. I wasn't familiar with the other person, but I am familiar with Judd.
The Black Dahlia murder vocalist Trevor Starnett. Do you know him at all?
No, I don't.
It's pretty sad.
I had my best friend for 35 years. Actually, when I was on the road, I got a phone call that he had killed himself. It's a tough thing. I wish I would have been around to prevent that.
Now, I know you did that ultimate jam night with my homeboy, Ira Black. How did you get all those famous people to come out there and play each week?
Well, it's been going on now since 2015, though we lost 18 months because of the pandemic, and we're back. It's really a well-run organization. It's really organized, where each musician knows the song they're playing on, the key that they're playing it in. I send them a link to the video of the song with the right ending, or that we come up with endings and discuss it, and put them with players of their level. Everybody knows it's going to be a great show. Whatever we decide to do, they know that they're in good hands when they come down to play with us. We have a killer backline, lighting. Whiskey's a legendary venue. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of the Whiskey A Go-Go, but it's been around since the 60s. And you've heard of the Doors, right? The band The Doors?
Yeah, I think I may have heard it before. Yeah.
Well, the band The Doors was the house band there. I mean, Zeppelin's played there. Jimi Hendrix has played there. I used to play there starting in the late 70s and the early 80s. You know, everybody, when you're in this town, you play the Whiskey A Go-Go.
One question. On your death row, it's time for your final meal. What's on the menu? What's on the menu? What you getting?
What would make you think of that question? That's bizarre. I'm not quite sure, man. I really like ramen now a lot.
Ramen?
Yeah, I love ramen now. Yeah,
Yo, my boy! Yeah, Ramen Army, am I right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I just had some last night. It was great.
Yeah, that's that ramen, bro. Mwah. What's your favorite flavor? The soy sauce flavor or the beef flavor, the chicken?
I like chicken and miso put
Yeah,
together.
those are the good ones, right? Yeah.
Put the egg in it, you know.
Oh, yeah, those ones. Oh my God, they're delicious, bro. Oh my-
Yeah, they are.
Well, thank you for being on my show. Hope the next time we talk's at the backstage at one of your shows, dude. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for speaking.
I look forward to meeting you, and thanks for having me on the show.
See you, man. Peace.
Bye-bye.